everyone. This hearing is called to order. This is a public hearing of the City Council Committee on Labor and Civil Service. The purpose of this public hearing is to hear testimony on Bill number 190461. I also want to recognize a presence of a quorum of the committee members. To my left are Vice Chair Councilman O'Neill, Council members Taubenberger and Green. To my right, Councilwoman Sanchez, Councilwoman Gim, and Council Member Dom. Council Member O'Neill, any members of the committee, do any of you have any opening remarks? Seeing none, the clerk will now read the title of the bill being considered today.
Bill number 190461, an ordinance amending Section 3F of an ordinance approved March 1st, 1963, as amended relating to agreements to administer employee retirement benefits for certain quasi-public agencies under certain terms and conditions.
Will the clerk please call the first panel of witnesses to testify on this bill?
Kathy Califano.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Please state your name for the record and feel free to proceed with your testimony.
Good afternoon, Councilwoman Parker and members of the Labor and Civil Service Committee. I am Catherine Califano, First Deputy of the Department of Planning and Development for the City of Philadelphia, and I'm here today with Jackie Dunn, Chief of Staff for the Office of the Director of Finance, to testify in support of Bill 190461. Under this bill, current vesting PRA employees that become PHDC employees as of July 1, 2019, will continue to participate in the PRA pension program. Existing PHDC employees and future new hires will continue to participate in the city's pension system in accordance with the pension code. This amended bill is supported by the Philadelphia Housing Development Corporation, Philadelphia Redevelopment Authority, and Department of Planning and Development. I conclude my testimony, and I am happy to answer your questions.
Thank you, Ms. Califano. Very quickly for the record, how many PRA employees are going to be impacted by the legislation?
There are 27 employees that are enrolled in the defined benefit program that will remain in the PRA pension.
Yes.
There are 7 employees that will move from the defined contribution plan at PRA to the City of Philadelphia pension plan.
And that's the stacked hybrid you're referencing?
Yes.
Thank you. And from what I understand, there are some PRA employees who are currently in the DC plan, and they will now become PHDC employees who become enrolled in the city's new stacked hybrid program. I just want to make sure I'm
correct,
accurate.
Councilwoman.
Okay, and so is that when you reference the 7 who are moving?
Yes, Councilwoman.
Who will be impacted by that change?
Correct.
Oh, okay, thank you. Are there any other questions from any members of the committee? Councilmember Dom?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Member, get that correct. And good afternoon. Just a quick question. Have you done any kind of financial analysis, if there's any impact to the city, positive or negative financially with this change?
Good afternoon, Jackie Dunn with the Finance Department. We don't anticipate that there will be a meaningful impact. If any PRA employees choose to move over, they'll be included in the actuarial census, and any impact would be calculated into our future contributions. And those employees would also be paying additional funds into the pension fund. And just as we've anticipated, any new hires are going into Plan 16, which is already part of our actuarial projections.
So let me just make sure I'm clear. Is the financial impact to the city no impact, basically, or?
Yes, correct.
No impact. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Is there anyone else here to testify on the bill? Oh, I'm sorry. Councilwoman Gim?
Though this wasn't submitted, could you share with us the diversity breakdowns of PIDC's hires and all the hires for the different entities that are involved with this?
I don't have the information today, but we can get back to you with the demographics.
If you could just share that with us, I'd like to see the diversity hires, particularly for new entrants into this agreement.
Correct. These are not new input. We are, this is integrating existing employees.
Understood.
There's no new hires at this time.
Right, no, I understand. But they're, as an entity, PIDC coming in, would like to see the diversity hires.
Correct.
Thank you.
We're happy to provide that.
Thank you, Council Lady. Any other questions? And is there anyone else here to testify on this bill? We want to thank you so very much for your testimony. This concludes the public hearing. We will now go into the public meeting to consider action to be taken on the bill heard today. We are now in a public meeting and will be accepting motions for Bill number 190461. The chair recognizes Councilmember O'Neill for a motion on the amendment to Bill number 190461.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I offer an amendment to Bill number 190461. A copy of the amendment has been circulated to all members of the committee, and I move that the amendment to Bill number 190461 be approved. Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded that the amendment to Bill number 190461 be approved. All those in favor of the motion will signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, the ayes have it, and the motion carries, and the amendment to Bill number 190461 has been approved. The chair recognizes Councilmember O'Neill for a motion on Bill number 190461 as amended.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move that Bill number 190461 as amended be reported from this committee with a favorable recommendation, and further move that the rules of council be suspended to permit first reading of this bill at the next session of council. Second.
It has been moved and properly seconded that Bill number 190461 as amended be reported from this committee with a favorable recommendation, and further move that the rules of council be suspended to permit first reading of this bill at the next session of council. All those in favor of the motion will signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it, and the motion carries. Bill number 190461 as amended will be reported from this committee with a favorable recommendation, with the request that the rules of council be suspended to permit first reading at the next session of council. This concludes the business of the Committee on Labor and Civil Service today. I want to thank all of my colleagues for their patience, and thank you all for your attendance. Have a good day.